Every time you watch a marathon, isn't there a question burning in your mind? Why do black runners keep dominating the podium, winning almost every major race for decades? Is it just natural talent, or is there a hidden secret no one's telling you? Today we're digging into the scientific truth, no myths, no guesses, just cold hard facts. But here's the key point, the truth is nothing like what you've heard. Let's unravel this mystery step by step. First, let's crush the biggest myth. It's all determined by genes. For years, people claimed the ACTN3 gene, known as the athlete gene, was the key. But a 2014 study published by the Physiological Society tested 124 elite marathon runners, including London Marathon champions and 566 young athletes. The result: zero correlation between the ACTN3R577X genotype and marathon performance. Elite runners had the same gene frequency as regular people, so if genes aren't the answer, what is? Let's look at body structure, specifically East African runners from Kenya and Ethiopia, who make up 80% of marathon winners worldwide. What makes their bodies different? Let's start with muscle fibers. Humans have two types: fast twitch for sprinting and slow twitch for endurance. A decade-long study by the Copenhagen Muscle Research Center found that East African runners have over 90% slow twitch muscle fibers compared to 50 to 60% in average people. These fibers are like endurance batteries. They resist fatigue 30% longer and use oxygen 10% more efficiently. Then there's their legs. Kenyan runners' calves are 400 grams lighter on average than Europeans. Does that matter? Every 50 grams added to your ankle increases oxygen consumption by 1%, so their slimmer lower legs save 8% energy per kilometer. That's like running a full marathon with 3.3 kilometers of free energy, and their feet. Higher arches act like natural springs, absorbing 20% more impact when landing and releasing 15% more propulsive force when pushing off. Combine that with longer shin bones and wider hip mobility, and their running economy is 12% more efficient. But wait, if physiology is so crucial, why don't all black runners dominate? Why only East Africans? Now we're getting closer to the truth. Look at where these runners grow up: the Ethiopian highlands and Kenya's Rift Valley, with an average altitude of 2,400 meters. At this height, oxygen levels are 15% lower than at sea level. What does that do to the body? Living here from childhood forces the body to produce more hemoglobin, the protein that carries oxygen. By adulthood, their blood can transport 15 to 20% more oxygen to muscles. It's like having a built-in altitude training advantage that other athletes spend months trying to achieve. But altitude alone isn't enough. Then there's the terrain. Most Kenyan runners train on uneven red dirt roads, not synthetic tracks. This hellish training ground builds stronger core muscles and ankle stability because they're constantly adjusting to bumps and slopes. When they step onto smooth marathon courses, it's like switching from a mountain bike to a race car. Let's talk about motivation. In Kenya, the average annual GDP per capita is just $2,113. But a top marathon runner can earn $200,000 a year, 100 times the average income. Winning a major race isn't just about glory. It's a ticket out of poverty for their families. This creates a unique training culture. In towns like Aitan and Eldoret, you'll find over 100 runners training together at 5:30 in the morning, even on weekends. The atmosphere is survival of the fittest. If you can't keep up with the pack, you get left behind. Chinese national teams even travel here to train because this Wolfpack environment pushes athletes to their limits. Take Eliud Kipchoge, the marathon world record holder. His weekly routine: one 40-kilometer-long run to fartlek training sessions, 3 strength sessions, and 0 distractions, no phones, no parties, just eat, sleep, and run. He lives in a simple dorm with other runners, eating a diet of corn, beans, and potatoes, low-calorie, high-nutrient, perfect for endurance. So after all this, what's the real answer? It's not a single factor, it's a perfect combination of four elements. First, physiological foundation. 90% slow twitch muscle fibers, lighter lower limbs, and efficient oxygen use evolutionary adaptations to their environment. Second, altitude advantage. Lifelong exposure to high altitudes builds superior cardio or respiratory function. Third, terrain training. Uneven dirt roads create stronger, more resilient runners. Fourth, cultural drive. A community that values running as a path to a better life, fostering discipline and collective motivation. It's not so-called natural talent, it's the combination of nature and nurture. These runners aren't born champions, they're forged by their environment, their culture, and decades of collective knowledge. The next time you see a black runner dominate a marathon, remember, it's not luck. It's the science of adaptation, the power of community, and the courage to keep running when everyone else wants to quit. And that's the truth behind those oversimplified claims. Now you know, share this video with someone who's ever wondered the same thing.